All right. Are we rolling? We're rolling. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. In today's video, I want to go over a little bit of the electric stuff that I've done and a little bit of the wiring that I've done since the last video. What we got going on is we have dome lights installed. We have a trunk light installed. And I even put a light in the engine bay, which may seem a little silly. But when I turn the lights off and show you kind of my thought on it, I think you guys will agree it's actually a pretty good idea. Along with all of that stuff, I got boxes over here. We have our dash over here, we have our converter, and we have our Turbo 400 tranny cross member. So let's keep this video rolling and let's go over what we got going on. Okay, so now we are at the front of the car. Don't mind any of this. This all still needs to get cleaned up. This is not how I'm leaving it. I'm just kind of excited to show you guys what we got going on. And I do have to add a bunch of other wiring for like the nitrous and the fan. So it's not 100% cleaned up yet. Still a little sloppy. Pay it no mind. What I'm about to do is I'm actually going to turn the lights off in this shop. And we're going to show you the LED strip that I got up here. And my thought on that is when it's nighttime, and I need to make a nitrous jet adjustment or I need to do some carb adjusting and I don't have a whole lot of light, this thing's going to be real nice, especially, for night at the track, just, maybe a possible breakdown on the street. I just want it there, kind of make my life a little bit easier. So I'm going to go turn the lights off. I'm going to go fire this thing up and we'll talk about it for a minute. So the lights are off in the shop. As you can tell, it's dark in here. I really can't see where I'm going, but we'll do this. Hit my switch, and we have a lit up engine, kind of, sort of. Maybe down the road, I'll add one here, and I'll add one over on that fender as well. But for now, I do like this, especially if I got to make a carb adjustment or nitrous adjustment, things of that nature. Now, we are going to stay in the front of the car for this because I got something else I want to show you guys. So, I know I talked about it last time, but I wanted to do something a little bit more than just the regular. I want to do something a little bit more than just the regular lights on this car. So, for the front headlights, we obviously have these. I'll turn the rock light on. So, for our front headlights, we obviously have these, but I wanted to add a high beam because, like I've said before, I live on a back road. It's real dark. I want to be able to see deer and things like that on the side of the road. I don't want to total this thing because Bambi decided to jump out in front of me and I didn't see it. So I added a light bar up front. It's just a little 12-inch light bar, nothing crazy, but it should help when seeing at night. And it's pretty discreet. You don't really see it that much because I think they're kind of ugly, but I do think I'm actually going to get my use out of this. So I'm kind of excited about that. So now what I want to do is I want to take you guys inside the car. We're going to talk about the dome light and a little bit more of the wiring. And also I got to take you to the trunk for two reasons. So let's go over there and I'll show you guys what we got going on back there. All right. So now we're at the trunk of the vehicle. Obviously we have our rear lights going on. I also added two pod lights underneath behind the rear tire for backing into my own burnout marks if I'm ever put in a situation where we're on a street, it's late at night, and I got to see backing up. So I did add those two. Those two pod lights actually came with the light bar up front, all relatively inexpensive, super easy to wire up, especially with the switch and the fuse relays and stuff like that I already have. On top of that, we have our license plate light hooked up, and we have another one of those LED strips back here that I'm going to use just in case we got to fuel the car at night. Now, I know I kind of feel like Exhibit off of Pimp My Ride. You know, I heard you like lights, so we got lights for your lights to put on top of your lights. I wanted to build this or wire this in a sense where any possible thing that may occur, I want to have lights for it. If I got to fuel at night at the racetrack, I got a light for it. If I need to back up into my burnout marks on a dark surface, I got my lights for it. I need to make an adjustment up front on the carburetor or the nitrous, I got lights for it. I want high beams for a dark road, I got bright lights for it. This is more just it's a lot of lights, it's a lot of senseless wiring, but I just wanted something for every situation I might run into. So with that being said, we are going to move to the front of the car, not the front of the car. We're going to move to the inside of the car where I have the very similar, pretty much the same exact LED back here, and the one that I have in the engine, I have up top for dome light. And we're going to look at that, and then I'm going to tell you how I have it all wired through that one little switch from Amazon, or that one little switch panel from Amazon I got. All right, so now we're on the inside of the car. I do want to show you guys the dome light real quick. So hit my button, dome light, super handy. I'm sure I'm going to use this more than I'd like to admit, especially driving and at night when I got to check bottle pressure and all that stuff. Like I said, I wanted a few creature comforts added on to this car just for things like that. So I do have it all. I don't know if you can see it. I do have it all wired through this switch panel, which then goes to that box right there. And honestly, I bought the 6 switch one. I'd probably buy the 8 switch one next time, because then I can just keep adding more and more stuff to it, because I don't know, there's a lot of things in here that I think would make my life a lot easier. So everything that's in this switch panel, we have our driver's side blinker, our passenger side blinker, our dome lights, our rear lights, and then our high beams. And the super cool, nice part about this is if I have lights on, if I have more than one thing on, all I gotta do is hit this on off button right here, and it turns everything off. I don't know. I think that's super cool, super handy. I would definitely recommend this to anyone that's not really good with wiring or starting out wiring. This made a lot of things super simple. It already has fuses and relays in there, so it's hook it to power and then hook it to power and ground, and then run your wires. It made a lot of this super, super simple. Along with that, I do want to show you guys, I do have the MSD ignition all wired in, and I think some of the next things I'm going to be buying is might start wiring up some of the nitrous stuff. So I do want to get I'm gonna run my nitrous on a button. Do want to run a purge setup for it too, and a progressive controller. So I do got to wire all that stuff in here too, but I think we are kind of coming close to the end of the wiring on this thing. I only got, if I really have to think about it, I got to get the dash in so I can wire up my gauges. I have to get the tranny in so I can do my trans brake. I got to do my brake pedal switch, but I do have that. I just got to do it. And then I got to wire the nitrous and stuff in, and I got to wire the fan. I really only have like 5 more sections of this car to wire, and that's pretty awesome. Of course, on top of that, I do have to wire in a few more things for the MSD, like the 2-step for the trans brake, but that kind of goes together. The timing control and stuff like that, which I'm pretty sure I can build a custom map for, so that way when I'm using the nitrous, we can take timing out of it or add timing, fine tune it based on what we got going on with that. So this is a very simple, basic video. It's really just me showing off what I've done, and I didn't make a video while I was doing it because I was hanging out with a buddy. I have a buddy that a really good friend that lives like an hour and a half away. He came by for the day, and I didn't want to film. I just wanted to hang out with my buddy. I haven't seen him for a while, so we ran some wires, got some lights working, and now I got to clean all of it up because it's just hanging out and it's gross looking. Like all this is just Not a big fan of it. I need to clean all this up, but really can't clean it up till I figured out where everything goes. But I only got about five or six more things to wire up, and then we're done with wiring, and we can focus on plumbing. And with that being said, we'll be firing this thing up within a month or so, and that's really exciting. What do I got left on this car? Finish the wiring, get the interior together, put the tranny in, get a drive shaft, plumb the fuel lines, plumb my gauges, fuel, oil pressure, voltage, things like that. I got to wire that stuff up and plumb that. I don't know if I said brake lines yet, but I got to do that and fix the steering, and we're road legal. The list on this thing keeps getting smaller and smaller. We keep getting closer and closer to the end, and I'm really excited. I'm mostly excited to get all of this wiring behind me so then I can put the interior together, because I think once the interior is in, it's going to tie this whole car together. It's going to stop looking like an empty shell. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I know this is not a great video, but if you've watched this long, greatly appreciate you guys. And if you've watched this long and you aren't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Next video, we're actually going to be doing work. It'll be a better video. I'm just shooting this one real quick just to kind of show you guys where we're at on the car and how much wiring we really have left, and it's not a lot. And yeah, like I said, we'll be firing this thing up probably within a month, and that's really exciting to me. I'm really excited to hear this thing fire up. And then we just got to wait for, we just got to wait for the snow to melt, the salt to get off the road, and then we're ready to go take it for the first test drive, which is really, really awesome. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm going to finish this video off here. Like, share, comment, subscribe as always. Next video will be better, and we'll actually be doing work, but I want to show you guys a little bit of an update. So yeah, I'm signing off. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you guys in the next one.